Nice stretch this week, but don't expect today to feel like it has in the past couple of days, even yesterday. Yesterday we hit 90, but today feels completely different because of the higher humidity than what we had out there yesterday. Let's take a look at your current conditions if you're just about to step outside. Temps are warming up pretty quickly. We're up to 78 now in Philadelphia. This after starting the morning in the 60s the past couple of days. 76 degrees in Wilmington, 76 in Coatesville, 75 in Pottstown, and Allentown in the 70s. Allentown dropped briefly into the 60s. Not anymore. It's even warm and steamy down the shore, upper 70s, Surf City, Atlantic City, 79 right now in Sea Isle City, and it is going to be a scorcher from the Poconos all the way to the shore with the core of the heat basically along the I-95 corridor. So here is where we have our watches and warnings right now. We've got an extreme heat warning. That's the area shaded in pink from northern Delaware and interior South Jersey all the way up I-95 on either side. These are the areas that may see heat index values climb to 105 degrees today, possibly even slightly higher. As we get into the Poconos, the Lehigh Valley, the shore communities, that's the heat advisory for heat index values topping 100 degrees. Not very often that we see the heat advisory extended into the Poconos or down the shore, so an indication of just how brutal today's heat is expected to be. Let's take you through the timing here. As we get into the afternoon, again, that's when the worst of it will be. An isolated severe storm. The heat peaks starting at about 2, 3, 4 o'clock, and then the best threat for storms in the city is not until about 7, but there may be a few prefrontal storms that start to fire up here and there starting at about 3 or 4, especially in the Poconos. Biggest threat with any severe storm would be wind damage, straight line winds, and heat illnesses like heat stroke and heat exhaustion if you spend too much time outside in this extreme heat. Mid-90s, feeling like 104 to 106 through the height of the afternoon, with storms likely about 7 or 8 o'clock. And again, those storms could turn briefly strong or severe. I'll walk you through the storm timing plus the weekend forecast from the city to the shore coming up in just a few minutes. Cam, I'll say typical summertime heat, but as those dew points rise out ahead of an advancing cold front, that's when the real dangerous heat will start to ramp up. And I think midday between about 1 p.m. and 5 p.m. is likely going to be the hottest stretch of this day. It's going to feel like 105 in spots. Right now it feels about 5 degrees hotter than the thermometer indicates. So if we keep that trend going, and as the dew point rises, it's going to feel more like 10 degrees hotter than the thermometer tells you. So right now 81 feels like 86, and that southwest wind is just pumping in the heat and humidity. It's only going to get worse as the day goes on. It's been a hot July, all things considered. We've had 15 days so far in the 90s here in July. Our max 21. We've had a few times 21 days in the 90s. I think we're going to add at least 4 more days today, and then again next Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday. Another heat wave next week. We will likely end up with 19 90-plus degree days here in July 2025. Over the past week, though, we've gotten a little bit of a break in the humidity. You can see starting on Monday, the humidity dropped. It was very comfortable Tuesday. It has started to climb again, and once we hit the weekend and into next week, we're going to keep that humidity level in the steamy, humid range pretty much through at least the first half of next week. It may get a little bit better as we head toward the start of August, which is next Friday, a week from today. Today's forecast 96 with a mix of sun and clouds for most of the day. Later this afternoon and evening, after likely 5 or 6 o'clock, that's when storms are going to fire up, and these storms could be strong or severe. So again, 95, 96 at the height of the day. That could feel as hot as 105 to 107 just thanks to those increasing dew points, that higher humidity feeding into the heat, and it's going to make it feel, again, 10 to 12 degrees hotter than your thermometer tells you. So you really have to prepare for those feels like temperatures. That's why we tell you what it's going to feel like, because that's how your body responds to it. It's going to respond as if it were 105 degrees. We have an extreme heat warning kicking in at 10. That'll go through 9 p.m. So the heat's going to continue even after the sun goes down. A heat advisory for the shore and all the way up to the Poconos. Any area that's not in the warning is in a heat advisory for today. Storms are starting to fire up along this boundary north and west of us. There are even a few storms here around the Pittsburgh area. These will start to progress south and eastward later this afternoon and this evening. Here is our severe threat for today, where you see the yellow. That's a slightly upgraded risk from where we were yesterday. It's a level 2 out of 5. It's what we call a slight risk, and that means any storm that comes through could produce the risk for especially damaging straight line winds. That looks like the biggest risk as far as severe weather. But there's also the threat that any one of these storms that pops up here and there could produce intense downpours, making it difficult to drive through. So 5:30 this evening, you're going to have scattered storms firing up on the radar. Make sure you're with our next weather team. We'll get you through this hot, sticky, and stormy afternoon. 5:30 scattered storms, and then it looks like this is going to coalesce into more of a line as we get into 7:30 right along the Atlantic City Expressway, or if you were planning on heading to the Delaware beaches. You may be driving through some very heavy rain, strong winds, and dangerous lightning. Maybe better to hold off, maybe go a little earlier today if you can, or wait until after 9 or 10 o'clock when this will clear out. Tomorrow looks much better. We'll have clouds, some breaks of sun, but not much in the way of thunderstorm activity, just a pop-up shower here or there. But another round of showers and storms overnight tomorrow night into Sunday morning, and then continuing into Sunday afternoon. Looks like a pretty unsettled day. There will be a little break in the action mid-morning into early afternoon on Sunday. And then another heat wave. How about it? Monday through Wednesday of next week, we're right back in the mid-90s. Janelle, I'll send it back to you.
All right, thank you.